I bought and tested these 10 two-person camping mattresses for couples, and I'm gonna share all my findings with you right now. For comfort, I looked at the thickness, type, bounciness, noise, and the surface of each two-person camping mattress. Here's the thickness in inches and the type of each two-person camping mattress from the most to the least comfortable. For all of these mattresses, my body does not touch the ground whether I'm sleeping on my back, stomach, or side. I found the self-inflating Exped MegaMat Duo to be the most comfortable because the foam contours to the shape of my body and gives my body plenty of support. In close second, we have the REI Dreamer, which is a quarter of an inch less thick than the Exped, but it's still really comfortable because it's also a self-inflating mattress. Next, we have the Air mattresses ranging from 6 to 9 inches in thickness, and they're all thick enough such that I don't feel the ground in any position, even when leaning on my elbow or when sitting down. I put the Klymit Double V's in last place because with just 2.5 inches in thickness, I could sometimes feel the ground when tossing and turning in bed. Next, I looked at the bounciness of each camping mattress with 2 people on it, from the least bouncy to the bounciest. The self-inflating mattresses like the Exped and REI Dreamer, and Airpads like the Klymit Double V's tend to have less bounce in my experience. My Air mattresses tend to be a lot bouncier, though the Etekcity is the least bouncy air mattress that I have. The Alps Vertex and the Lightspeed air mattress have more segmented air chambers and are less bouncy compared to my Sierra Designs and Coleman Quickbed, which have fewer air chambers and are bouncier. And finally, the Intex Airbed has a crazy amount of bounce. For noise, here are the quietest to the loudest two-person camping mattresses. The self-inflating Exped and REI Dreamer are the quietest, followed by air mattresses with velvety flock tops like the Etekcity, Coleman, and Intex. The Klymit Double V's, which are air pads, are the loudest with a slightly crinkly sound, but at least they don't sound like a bag of chips. I also looked at the material and texture of the surface fabric that I slept on from the most to the least comfortable. I found the Exped MegaMat to be the most comfortable because it felt the softest and most plush. The REI Dreamer was slightly less soft but still really plush. Both these self-inflating mattresses had flat sleeping surfaces and felt the closest to a regular bed. The Air mattresses and Air pads have naturally firmer surfaces which can feel more rigid. The Alps Vertex, Lightspeed, and Sierra Designs two-person camping mattresses have gentle baffling and divots that were pretty comfortable. The Intex and the Klymit Double V's have deeper baffling that can take some getting used to, but they felt decently comfortable after I got used to it a few nights later. The 2 mattresses that I did not like were the Etekcity and Coleman Quickbed. When I inflated both these mattresses fully, the baffling got really pronounced and poked into my body, and I couldn't really find a comfortable position to sleep in. And here are the dimensions of each two-person camping mattress. Because most brands offer different sizes of each mattress and I bought different ones, I decided not to rate them based on these dimensions. So based on these 5 factors, I rated the comfort of each two-person camping mattress, and here are those ratings from the most comfortable. For ease of use, I looked at inflation, adjustments, and the deflation and pack-up of each two-person camping mattress. For the inflation of my 6 air mattresses, here are the timings from the fastest to slowest. For this test, I timed the inflation using the provided pump, and if there was no provided pump, like for my Coleman Quickbed and Intex Classic Downy Airbed, I used the pump that came with my Sierra Designs and Lightspeed camping mattresses. The pump that came with my Alps Vertex and Etekcity mattresses were much higher powered, so inflation was a lot quicker. For my 2 Airpads, the red insulated Klymit has a slightly larger stuff sack, so it takes around 11 to 12 bags of air to fill the Double V if there's moving airflow. If there's no moving airflow, it takes around 13 to 14 bags of air. The average timing is 1.5 minutes. It takes around 14 to 17 bags of air to fill the blue uninsulated Klymit, depending on whether there's airflow, with an average timing of 2 minutes. For my 2 self-inflating mattresses, the Exped MegaMat Duo and the REI Dreamer Double, they both take an average of about 10 minutes to self-inflate, followed by 1 minute of pumping. But they could take a lot longer to self-inflate, maybe 30 minutes to an hour, if you store them compressed like this. Also, you'll have to pump it up more, up to 5 minutes or so. So I would recommend storing them unrolled with the valves open if you want them to self-inflate more quickly. After putting all the timings from the different inflation methods together, here are the timings that I spent pumping up each mattress from the fastest to slowest. I spent the least amount of time pumping up the self-inflating Exped and REI Dreamer, and the most time inflating the Intex. These timings you see here are just the timings of the pumping and do not include me taking the camping mattress out of the stuff sack, unrolling it and laying it on the ground, or letting it self-inflate. If you'd like to include this as well, just add 11 minutes to the self-inflating Exped and REI and 1 minute to the rest of the air mattresses and air pads. Being able to make adjustments when lying down on the mattress is very useful, especially if you find the mattress too firm. For the Exped MegaMat, both the Klymit Double Vs and the Lightspeed mattress, just gently press on the inbuilt flap of the inflate valve to release a bit of air for more cushioning. For the REI Dreamer, just unscrew the caps of one of the valves and push it in slightly to let some air out. For the Alps Vertex Sierra Designs and Intex mattresses, these come with screw-on two-way valves, and I found that unscrewing the two-way valve slightly lets out a bit of air, but you will have to listen for the sound of air escaping and also be careful not to unscrew it too much. The only two camping mattresses that lets out too much air at one time are the Etekcity and Coleman Quickbed because they come with these plug-type valves. I deflated all my camping mattresses on my own by pushing the air out using my body weight. Then I folded each one and packed it nicely back into the stuff sack. Here are the timings from the fastest to slowest. The self-inflating Exped and REI Dreamer took slightly longer than the air mattresses because of all the foam. The Klymit Double Vs took slightly longer as well because the stuff sack was a bit tight, especially for the Insulated Double V. The Intex and Coleman Quickbed did not come with stuff sacks. Based on these three factors, here's how I rated the ease of use for each two-person camping mattress. For portability, I looked at weight and packed size. Here's the weight of each two-person camping mattress from the lightest to heaviest. This is just the weight of the deflated mattress alone, without the stuff sack, pump, or any other accessories. If you need more details on the specs, I have more information in each individual review on my channel. And here's the packed size of each camping mattress from the smallest to the largest, which is quite proportional to the weight. For a size comparison, here's what all of them look like beside a 32-ounce Nalgene bottle. Also, here's what they look like side by side. Based on this, here are the portability ratings for each camping mattress. For versatility, I looked at insulation, so whether the mattress can be used for summer, 3-season, or winter camping, whether it can be used for backpacking, whether it fits into 2-person tents, 4-person tents, and so on, and also the versatility of the pump. Here are the R values of each 2-person camping mattress from the most to the least insulated. The Exped MegaMat Duo and the REI Dreamer Double are the most insulated and can be used in winter. The Klymit Insulated Double V is warm enough to be used for 3-season camping but not winter. The rest have little to no insulation, so they're only great for summer use. I used all of these camping mattresses only in summer in about 60 to 80 degree weather, and none of them felt too hot. Only the Klymit Double Vs are light enough to be used for backpacking, but even so, they're not exactly ultralight, though you could probably use them for shorter backpacking trips. The Exped MegaMat Duo Medium and both Klymit Double Vs have the most versatile sizing because they're just about the size of 2 regular sleeping pads put together. They are also lower profile and don't eat too much into your livable space and can be used in all 2-person tents, even ones that are narrower and have lower peak heights. And you can fit 2 of these mattresses in a 4-person tent and so on. I found the pumps of the Exped MegaMat, the REI Dreamer, and both Klymit Double Vs to be the most versatile because they can be used without charging and without batteries. Here's a summary of the different settings and situations that I considered. The self-inflating mattresses and air pads like the Exped, REI, and Klymit are much more versatile and can be used for many different occasions. On the other hand, air mattresses are much less versatile. Based on this, here's how I rated each camping mattress for versatility. I also looked at the quality of the material, valve, stuff sack, pump, and air retention. Here's the material of both the top and bottom surfaces of each camping mattress. The 3 main materials that you will find in such camping mattresses are nylon and polyester, sometimes with a TPU coating as well as PVC. After using these 2-person mattresses for the past 6 to 12 months, I realized that the only material that I did not like was PVC because it's heavy, doesn't pack down small, and it smells. The smell does fade after a few days, but it never completely leaves. For valves, I looked at the number, type, quality, and build of the valves, and here they are from the highest quality. I really love the separate flat valves for inflation and deflation on the Exped MegaMat Duo and the Klymit Double Vs. They're also flushed with the surface and feel rugged and high quality. The only valve that I did not like was the plug type valve on the Coleman Quickbed. It's my only 2-person camping mattress that doesn't have a one-way valve, so it's much less user-friendly. I also looked at the quality and design of each stuff sack from the highest to lowest quality. I really love the stuff sack of the Exped MegaMat Duo and the REI Dreamer Double the most. They are the best fitting, most user-friendly, and highest quality. I also really like the quality of the stuff sack on the Klymit Double Vs, but the roll top is a bit tight. The rest of the stuff sacks are a bit too oversized, though it is easier to get the mattress bag in, even without proper deflation. My least favorite stuff sack is the Etekcity because it looks and feels the cheapest. Here's the quality of each pump from the best quality. The pumps that came with the Exped MegaMat Duo, REI Dreamer, and Klymit Double Vs are the best quality. They pop into place and fit perfectly with the inflate valves. They're very efficient, very durable, and can last for many years, and they don't require batteries or charging. The Alps Vertex and Etekcity mattresses came with high-powered electric pumps that are also very efficient, but the charge that it holds slowly decreases over time and doesn't last me more than a couple years. The electric pumps of the Sierra Designs and Lightspeed mattresses are low-powered, less efficient, and both died on me with just a few months of light usage. I also tested the air retention of every single mattress with another person, and here are the results after each night. The only camping mattresses that lost a bit of air was the Intex and Coleman Quickbed. To be fair though, they were not uncomfortable the next morning, and I never had to worry about waking up on the ground, but I did have to top them off with air every night. Based on these 5 factors, here's how I rated each camping mattress for quality. And finally, here are the overall results. I color-coded the ratings. Green is for good, yellow is for not so good, and red is for pretty bad. Based on this weightage, here are the overall scores for each 2-person camping mattress. I spent over $1,100 buying these 10 camping mattresses and 6 months testing them out, so if this video has been helpful, please help me hit that like button. Thank you, and I really appreciate it. Now, before you buy any of these, let me talk about my recommendations real quick. If comfort's your priority, the Exped MegaMat Duo 10 is the most comfortable 2-person camping pad I have for so many reasons. It's crazy plush, super soft, and the surface is flat, so there's no weird dips or contours that poke into your body. The fabric is quiet, bouncing is super minimal, and it's also my warmest mattress with an R value of 8.1. And that's not all. Not only is the Exped MegaMat the most comfortable, it's also my highest quality, most versatile, and easiest to use mattress, making it the obvious choice for best overall 2-person camping mattress. The medium size that I bought takes me just 1 minute of pumping to inflate it and less than 3 minutes to deflate and pack it up nicely. I can also use it for all seasons and all tents, and personally, it's the camping mattress that I use the most frequently. I just can't take it backpacking because it's a little heavy and bulky. It's also quite pricey, and it's my most expensive 2-person camping mattress. If that's out of your budget, but you're still looking for a comfortable self-inflating camping mattress, check out the REI Dreamer Double, which is my runner-up pick. It did not score as well as my Klymit Double Vs because it's super bulky and I had to score it very badly for portability. I mean, check out what it looks like beside a Coleman 2-person tent and a Coleman 4-person tent. But if this is not an issue for you, the REI Dreamer Double offers fantastic value when it goes on sale. When it was on sale, I paid more than $100 less for the REI than I did for the Exped. Compared to the MegaMat Duo Medium, the REI Dreamer Double is a whopping 8 inches longer and 12 inches wider, so you get a ton of space for more than $100 less, which is seriously incredible. The REI Dreamer Double is very slightly less thick though, less warm, and to me it also feels a little less plush, but only very slightly. If you're looking for something more portable, I'd recommend checking out either the Klymit Double V insulated or uninsulated sleeping pads. Here's what each 2-person camping mattress weighs without any accessories, and here's what each of them weigh after including the stuff sack, pump, batteries, and cables. The Klymit Double Vs are easily the most portable camping mattresses on the list, and nothing even comes close. Self-inflating mattresses are naturally heavier, and for air mattresses, you need pumps to inflate them. Pumps operated by 4D batteries can weigh about 1.7 pounds, and even the lightest rechargeable pump that I have weighs 11 ounces, not including the AC and DC cables. The Klymit Double Vs are not just lightweight, they're also very high quality, versatile, and easy to use. The flat valves are low profile and feel rugged. The entire sleeping pad is made of thick 75D polyester, top and bottom. At 2.5 inches in thickness, it's low profile enough to fit into any tent, short or narrow. The stuff sack doubles as a very efficient pump, which can inflate double Vs with or without airflow and without even having to blow into it. Now, here are a few key differences between the red insulated double V and the blue uninsulated version. The red insulated double V has a higher R value, so it's more insulated and thicker. Because of this, it has a slightly larger stuff sack, so it takes less bags of air and 30 seconds less to inflate. However, it also takes 1.5 minutes more to pack back into the stuff sack. The red double V also weighs almost a pound more than the blue double V and has a 60% bigger packed size. So if you don't need the insulation of the red double V, I would recommend the blue uninsulated one so you don't have to lug around more weight. Next, here's a table of all the mattresses arranged from the least expensive. To me, one mattress stands out. The Sierra Designs 2-person camping air mattress, which is one of my least expensive mattresses. In fact, if you're looking for something that's PVC free, and let's remove all the PVC mattresses from this table here, the Sierra Designs is the least expensive PVC free mattress that I have. Despite its inexpensive price tag, the Sierra Designs is pretty high quality with a TPU coating and a user-friendly Boston valve. It's also surprisingly comfortable even with all the divots along the entire mattress, and it's my only 2-person camping mattress that has a comfy inbuilt pillow at one end. The biggest con isn't with the mattress, it's actually with the included pump. It's pretty low powered and mine even stopped working a few months in. But overall, I felt that the Sierra Designs is a great quality mattress for the price and will give you a lot of bang for your buck if you're on a budget and looking for something that's not too low quality. If the Sierra Designs mattress is a little out of your budget, don't worry because here's the best budget pick, which is even less expensive. I was looking at either the Intex Classic Downy Airbed or the Coleman Quickbed, but it seems like there's literally no competition. The Intex Airbed is not only a lot cheaper, but it's also better performing. The Intex Airbed has what I think is a much better valve, which is this 2-in-1 screw-on valve, while the Coleman Quickbed only has this 2-way plug opening and no 1-way valve at all. Also, the baffling on the Intex is a lot more gentle and more comfortable than the Coleman's. However, the Intex is a bit bouncier than the Coleman, but otherwise beats the Coleman in almost every other way. And finally, here are the 2-person camping mattresses that I have not yet talked about. These are not bad camping mattresses by any means, but I just couldn't think of anywhere to really place them. First, the Alps Mountaineering Vertex Airbed. If I were to give this an award, it would be the best 2-person camping air mattress that I have. Here are all of my 6 air mattresses, and the Vertex Airbed is right at the top, edging out the Lightspeed mattress by a few decimal places. It's the complete package when it comes to air mattresses. I got the mattress inside a stuff sack, a pump with 3 detachable nozzles, a DC vehicle charger, an AC charger, and even a repair kit. The Vertex Airbed is made of TPU-coated nylon, is PVC-free, and has a great quality Boston valve. What makes the Vertex Airbed stand out even more is the powerful rechargeable pump that inflates the airbed in just 1.5 minutes. It has multiple charging options and can be used even when being charged. But the Vertex Airbed is my most expensive air mattress. Second, here's the Lightspeed Outdoors Camping Air Mattress. This has almost the same design as the Vertex Airbed except for the valve. The Lightspeed has this screw-on valve with a simple inner flap, while the Vertex Airbed has a higher quality Boston valve. Another significant difference is that the Lightspeed's pump is much lower quality, not very efficient, and I had trouble inflating the Lightspeed with such a low-powered pump. Also, the pump pooped out on me in a few months. The Lightspeed also doesn't come with a repair kit, so even though it's quite a bit cheaper than the Vertex Airbed, I think it offers slightly less value for money. Last, let's talk about the Etekcity upgraded camping mattress. This is a popular air mattress as well because it's not too expensive and you get a full package as well, like the air mattress, a stuff sack, a pump, nozzles, chargers, and 2 repair patches. It's also a true queen size with the largest dimensions and highest profile style of all the mattresses that I tested in this video and has minimal bouncing for an air mattress. But personally, it's not my favorite two-person camping mattress because I'm not a big fan of the plug type valve and the fact that it's made of PVC, making it super humongous and extremely heavy. It's the same size as my self-inflating Exped MegaMat Duo, which is crazy. Please help me smash that like button if this was useful, and if you do decide to buy a camping mattress I recommend, it would mean a lot if you could use my affiliate links in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.